Hello, hello. Hi, beautiful. Welcome to our second ever Skintuitive Happy Hour. I am your hostess, Amy Wall, and I am an energetic beauty visionary who is shining a light on a different way to practice, define, and experience beauty. So, welcome. And I am super excited to just get this weekly session flowing. So if you are getting great benefit out of it and you are finding yourself here from week to week, please share this with your friends and loved ones, maybe with a sister or a daughter or a mother, so we can really start creating a ripple effect of super consciousness throughout all of our lineages and our communities, because you've heard me say it before, we need a new way to relate to beauty. And maybe it's just about redefining beauty altogether. And, that's a deep conversation, which we can get into another time. I definitely want to dive right into the actual Skintuitive session, and then I will leave the last part up for Q&A. So this session is for you if you can relate to being unappreciated. That's really the unappreciated beauty is why I'm doing this and who this is really for, to help unappreciated beauties really start learning the art and the science of the magic of a self-appreciation ritual. So before we get into that, let's talk about what who the unappreciated beauty is and what are some of the symptoms, and to see if you recognize yourself, and to see if if you are in fact in the right place. So unappreciated beauties are buying skincare products without a blueprint or a plan. You're buying products maybe from an influencer, from the internet, from your sister's friend who has an MLM, from your esthetician, from the drugstore, from the TikTok, from the grocery store, from the department store. You're just maybe buying things willy-nilly and not really knowing what those products do, or really how to use them for their best results. And so that can leave you unappreciated because you've spent money, you invested in products, but you're not getting the results out of them. So there creates kind of, a huge disconnect and disbelief that products even work, right? Give me a comment if you can relate to that. So some other symptoms of unappreciation are if you have gone more than a week without looking at yourself deeply in the mirror. You're most likely unappreciated. If you are worried about aging, you're unappreciated. If you're highly sensitive, the chances are you're unappreciated because you don't even know how to appreciate your sensitivity as a superpower. And you could be still defining your sensitivity as a liability, because let's face it, in this day and age, thank you, Kiko, for participating. Please lay down. In this day and age, being sensitive means you're vulnerable, right? You feel more, you react more, and it's tougher going around in this world with so much stimulus, so much information coming at us right and left, that it's tempting just to shut down and, mitigate some of the effects of the sensitivity. So those are some of the symptoms of unappreciated beauty, and there are many more. There are, when we can get into it, but if you can relate to, buying products without a plan, going for more than a week at a time without looking in the mirror, worrying about aging, and just in general, not taking time on a regular basis to absolutely treasure and cherish the woman that you are, you could be feeling unappreciated. And so let's tune into the word appreciation for a moment. So when something appreciates, it raises in value. So the word appreciate is not so much just another, platitude or another word, adjective to, get you to buy something or some sort of fabulous, new word. It's not that. It's that appreciation itself is a frequency and is the energy of expansion and increase. So if you would like to have a relationship with beauty and you would like to be high value, not unappreciated, then you are in the right place. But that brings me to another point, which is not everybody wants to have a relationship with beauty. Some of you might just want to have healthy skin. And in that case, you probably are in the right place as well, because I am an absolute stone cold expert in that. But I tend to like to talk about the energetics of beauty before we get into any of that, because when you set up the blueprint and you set up the energetics, everything just flows with ease from there. So let's bring that frequency of appreciation and increase and expansion to the Skintuitive session. And the Skintuitive happy hour, the Skintuitive session that I do one-on-one, the act of Skintuition is really around dropping out of your mind, dropping out of the monkey mind. There's no effort here. I don't want you to have to be learning. This isn't, me just giving you a bunch of facts and routines and moves and, things that you have to think about and remember. This is a whole different experience. Really, I like to liken it to the yoga of beauty, where you can really start dropping into your heart space, dropping in and expanding into your expanded self, connecting in with your soul shine, your soul spark, that fractal of the divine that you are, that you truly are. And again, if this doesn't resonate with your beliefs, you may be in the wrong place, and that's okay. But if you're somebody who is already on a spiritual path and you're already on a self-development path, well, the good news is that working with your skin is an incredible way in to all of the layers and levels of your body and being. So let's drop into that. So we've got that frequency of appreciation. We have got that energy of the heart space, of the no mind, of the all that is, that expanded, that space within you that just feels very connected, however that looks to you. That's what this session is all about. So we're not just going to be going through some exercises and, teaching different tools. Certainly we may do that over the course of this experience. And of course, I need you guys to show up and love this for me to continue doing it. But down the road, after this gains some steam and the community really starts to build, I will go into some advanced techniques with you. And certainly I can give you tips and tricks and all sorts of information about everything from microcurrent to gua sha and all of the other things that, the darlings of the holistic skincare industry are talking about and teaching. I usually have a little bit of a different spin on it, but the main thing that we're practicing here is dropping into our expanded energy, into our super conscious self, and doing our skin and increasing our connection from that tuned in, turned on, and tapped in space. So how does that sound? I hope it sounds wonderful. I can't see anybody on YouTube because I'm actually streaming out of my Zoom. So I'm just looking at myself right now, which is kind of handy because actually looking into the webcam or looking even at the screen, I can see myself. And so let me ask you before we open up this session, which will really be a combination between some deep fascial connection massage, a little bit of lymphatic movement, some meditation, maybe some visualization. I don't know. That's the point of Skintuition and Skintuitiveness is we're going to drop in and we're going to follow the energy. But when was the last time you really looked at yourself? So if you have a hand mirror nearby, and if you don't, that's okay. Maybe whip out your phone and put on the reverse camera, or bring a mirror to next week's session. But let's just take a moment and really look at you. I teach 3 different types of mirror. Play, it's not work, please. This should just be fun, and play is the way. But for right now, I don't want you to do anything other than just sort of gaze into your own eyes, just acknowledging and appreciating the woman you see in the mirror. Okay, so let's start off with that. And I wanted to say just a couple more little things about, okay, so we looked in the mirror. We're going to open up the session. We're going to go with the flow. And here's a couple of things to keep in mind that downloaded or became aware in my awareness as I created this class for you, because even though we are going to go with the flow, I have structured it in a certain way. So one thing that I wanted to offer up as an invitation is to really start thinking of your body as a receiver. So when we drop into the energy and we start massaging, allow yourself to receive and just drop any barriers that you have to receiving energies and frequencies from me through this computer, through the magic of the internet, not needing to worry about time and space, but really being together. And the way that energy works is that I can tune in to not only the people watching this live, but to the future audience, and the class, the awarenesses, the downloads are for someone out there, and possibly for everyone. I also want to invite you to think about the skin as a mirror. Okay, so the skin as a mirror, which means that everything that you see on your face in the current moment, or in the present moment, is a reflection of something that you have thought, felt, eaten, drank, come into contact with, whether that's sun or inflammation or a skincare product or fast food, like everything is just showing. So we can really bring this sort of curious awareness to the mirror and realize that our skin and the mirror are really the same. And what we're seeing right now is only a reflection of where we've been thus far. So really the invitation of these Skintuitive sessions, and also, working with me one-on-one, is to develop the sensitivity in that skintuition where you start reading your own skin. Not only are you going to become your own skin expert, but it's going to take away so much pain and suffering and, judgment and limitation and all the projections and rejections and separations and limitations and conclusions and computations that you have about your skin and what your skin looks like. We can start dissolving and dissipating that, relaxing and releasing that right on out of our systems, and adopting this new perspective of our skin as a mirror. Okay, love that one. So, and to follow up on that, one last thing that I didn't specifically mention is that the conditions are messages. Okay, so everything from a pimple to hyperpigmentation, which I have a little sunspot here, which I call it my little oven temperature. Like, I know if that thing's getting darker, that other stuff's going on. I talk to my skin. So everything that my skin is presenting to me, whether that's, crepiness in the neck, which I have starting from, years of being out in the sun, and I am not against the sun. I actually don't wear sunscreen. Please don't take that as me telling you not to wear sunscreen. This whole thing, yes, I'm an expert. This whole thing is about you trusting yourself, you taking total self-responsibility that you are the programmer of the mirror. But my messages are from my own experience on Earth, growing up on the beach in Mexico, growing up in Hawaii, living on the coast of California, ignoring my neck, looking down at the tech, whatever it is. This loosening of my skin right here is just a message to me. I don't take it as that I'm losing value, that I'm going to need to, run out and buy hundreds of dollars of anything or have a procedure. I'm aware of it. I'm looking at it. I'm noticing it, right? So that's another thing. If you stop looking in the mirror for more than a week, skin conditions are going to be creeping up and you're not noticing them. I just spoke to a woman today who I believe she said she had stopped looking in the mirror for a while. And then when she looked, there were so many changes that she hadn't really even noticed. So notice yourself, appreciate yourself, but don't judge yourself. This is just messages, right? If I've got a crease starting here, which I have a nice little line here, if I have a crease there, then I know that I'm really concentrating and I'm concerned. It's just a cause and effect. It's just information. Okay. So let's keep that as a base as well. And then the last little nugget is that play is the way. This isn't work. We're not mirror working. We're not doing a regimen. We're not doing a routine. God, no, that's going to make it so you don't want to do your skin. That's going to make it so all of that is a chore that feels very heavy and hard. So when you're hanging out with me, we're just being playful. And let me tell you, if you want to develop a magnetic persona and you want to have that high value radiance and lit from within glow, then become more playful. And if you want to look younger, become more playful, because it's young people that play. So play is the way. All right, so let's get started on the actual session. This will be kind of like, going into maybe a nice yoga nidra class or a meditation circle, something like that. You can lie down on actually, no, don't lie down on your bed right now. I want you sitting in your chair. And we're going to run through some energetic exercises just to start tuning in and turning on and tapping into all of that cellular energy, that spiritual energy, and mixing the two, the cellular and the spiritual energy. We're going to be mixing the two, and we're going to be creating infinity symbols throughout our practice today. And on my products are coded the symbol of the infinity sign. I don't think you can see it. But let's just open up that symbol right now. The master key, and noticing how it's actually a circle with a twist. And contained within this infinity symbol is an in and out breath, and a release and a regeneration symbol. So we can bring things in and we can let things go right on that figure 8. And I am so sorry if there's any background noise. I have some staff outside and they're making a lot of noise. So I'm just going to actually grab a little quick drink of water, and then we'll get started with the session. So now's a great time for you to get any water and maybe a little facial oil to massage your skin with today. Okay, be right back. All right, so today I just have plain water, actually. That's another thing that we'll be talking about from time to time. We'll be doing some water recipes, and if you have my beauty blueprint, which I highly recommend, it is under $40, and it contains every single thing that I give my high level clients, my one-on-one clients, how I have them set up all of their rituals at home, how to clean out their personal care, how to set up the beauty altar, how to create that inner image, that beauty blueprint to run off. So in the beauty blueprint, I have my favorite activated quench water in there, but regular water is fine too. But more often than not, I'm going to be eating my water, eating water-rich fruits and vegetables, and drinking water with chia seeds and a little sea salt and fruits and vegetables as well. But today we have just some nice filtered cool water with my little straw here, which for some reason just makes me feel fancy. So I'm going to continue to kind of pause while everybody gets settled outside. I guess one of these days I'll just have to have my very own dedicated video studio, because it's so funny. It just seems like every time I go live or try to film videos, either the animals or something else gets going, but that's okay, right? That's real life. And I think everybody can relate. Okay. So, all right. So some of the things that I'm sharing with you are from the light key frequencies body of work. It's not Reiki. They're called light key frequencies. And they are these beautiful frequencies of light that I can share with you right through the ether, right through the highly charged plasmatic etheric space that's not actually empty, that's just teeming with informations. So if you give your permission, why don't you just allow yourself to be enveloped and to step into a beautiful vortex of light that I'm opening up. Just feeling it opening up, maybe even sitting right in the middle of that vortex, like you were the stem of a pumpkin, and the energy was coming up and out, slashing around, just finding even more ease in your seat. Really connecting your feet on the floor. I've got bare feet right now, but if you don't, that's totally fine. But just really feel your feet flat on the floor. Feel feet flat on the floor. Ooh, all sorts of good F words there. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Feel your feet flat on the floor. And then I want you to really just have this beautiful, tall posture. And feeling a nice column of light coming through the top of the crown of your head all the way down to the bottom of your spine, activating that central channel, engaging your mula bandha, which if you practice yoga, you will know it's sort of a pelvic floor lock, but it's tightening your sex organs, sort of just really anchoring everything in, lifting your pelvic floor up a little bit, just anchor a nice lock down there. And feeling this beautiful column of light coming from your spine through the top of your head, as if you were on a carousel pony. As if you were a carousel pony, and the pole right in the middle, just really anchoring you in, and just feeling how good that feels already. You know, and with the face, bringing in more consciousness, bringing in this spiritual and cellular energy. It's all happening through the neck. So just having beautiful, tall posture, activating this central channel, and really feeling yourself here is the first step. And I think you can feel it already, that it feels great. So throughout your day, if you're sitting at a desk or you're doing a chore, or wherever you are, you're driving your car, just activate that mula bandha, tilt your pelvic floor, engage all of your lower organs, your sacral sex organs, Just engaging and lifting and holding. Now let's bring some breath into this. And with this lock in place, with this nice column of light, what I want you to do now is we're just going to start breathing in, expanding our belly like a balloon through the nose. All of this will be through the nose. And then we're going to breathe out. And as we do, we're going to deflate the balloon and lift your pelvic floor. Do you feel that? So you've already got the lock, but on the deflation, you're nice and tight. So it's like a supercharged Kegel. If you want to have a juicier energy, sexier vibe, like this is the key right here. So we can't just, treat the face as this, just up here. This is a whole body. This is a soma, right? We're going to work with the psyche and the soma. So let's breathe in again through the nose. Expanding your balloon and really expanding your belly. And then breathe out. Pulling your core in, really tightening your abs and engaging your pelvic floor all the way in, squeezing it in. Okay, again, breathing in, opening up your balloon. And breathing out. Now, you'll see that I've got some little neck rolls coming in, just intuitively. So go ahead and follow my lead. I'm still engaging my Mula Bandha. And then you can just release all that. But we've activated our energetic circuits and let our body and our being know that we are going to go into creation mode. So how fun is this? All right. So now we're going to do some Skintessa breathing, which is something we'll practice every single week. And it is an infinity symbol that we're going to weave starting at the sacral. It's going to come in through the back, out through the front. It's going to weave on top. It's going to cross back over. It's going to push down through the earth. So you're weaving this infinity symbol, crossing it over through your sacral area. Okay, so just do it at your own pace. And maybe I can even get really fancy with some editing, and they can do like a animation right here. I don't know, but for now, just follow the lead and just allow this golden infinity symbol to start weaving in and out of your body into the earth, dipping into the heavens. And noticing how it's easy for you to follow the sound of my voice, and it's easy for your body just to tune in, turn on, and tap into this because it already knows how to do it. It's natural. So as above, so below. The infinity symbol really speaking to the duality and bringing things together, balancing, crossing over all of the things that we have, the hemispheres, the sides. This is a wonderful symbol. So just allow it to continue to weave in and out. Now what I'd like you to do, just by following the sound of my voice, is I'd like you to experience that infinity symbol uncrossing and opening up into a circle. And allow the circle to completely envelop your entire space, imagining maybe 3 feet in all directions. It's just sort of encircling you. And you just stand right here in the middle. Using your imagination, engaging all of your senses, just using your imagination and following the sound of my voice. Go ahead and in your mind's eye and with your energetic intentions, find the center of that circle. Seeing it right in front of you, find the center of the circle, go to the center, pinch in and zoom out. And walk through a door right in the center of the circle. Noticing how every time you walk through the door and find the new center, you can pinch in, expand, and walk through. So just noticing how easy it is for us to energetically align with this exercise and feel that sensation of finding a middle, pinching and zooming out and walking through, going from the very small to the very large, expanding, and just playing with that as a pulse, just like your heartbeat and just like your breath, sort of just pulsing through, walking through. Just feeling your body becoming very light, very bright. Oh, all right. So that feels awesome. And from there, let's go ahead and do some skintuitive massage. So I always like to wear an off-the-shoulder shirt or something with a tank top so that I have this whole area involved. And last time we started at the chest, I believe. Today we're going to start at the head. Either way, you definitely want to include your head and your chest when you massage your skin. And some of you out there might be already using a gua sha stone or using some other massage tool medium, and that's great. I just love to encourage everyone to activate their hands and fingers. And I have a whole masterclass about doing that in the Bright Rights, which is actually going to be happening in St. Lucia at the Bright Rights retreat. I will drop that link in the description or in the comments, but this is an advanced energy technique, but you don't need to learn it all right now. You can just actually start tapping along with me. And we're going to start at our head today. It's activating our fingers. And I wanted to bring in this sort of awareness that if you wanted to lift your face here, it actually starts back here. So let's just go ahead and interlace our fingers and just start kind of pulling your hair up off the scalp. Now, we don't practice any of this type of beauty so that we are palatable or approvable to other people. We don't do this for men or for our colleagues or for the people on the street. We're not lifting our skin or our face so that we can be more valuable to society. We're doing this because our body loves to be stimulated. And we're doing this because bringing fresh energy and circulation and oxygen and nutrition to your body is going to help it radiate with the maximum amount of energy and health. And a sagging and wrinkles are really just indications that you have decay. And it doesn't have anything to do with how old you are. You can be decaying at 25, you can decay, all the way, at the end. So just see that I'm starting to sort of walk my way down the neck. Starting to really massage out these trapezius muscles, all of that tension, you're shortening and the focusing and the tension is really happening here. So let's get in there. I think self-massage and self-intimacy, self-pleasuring, self-appreciation, those are all really highly related. And, the sensuality, just moving here, just gently circling. The sensuality doesn't belong to sex. Sensuality is a development and a honing of the senses. And so what would it take for you to reclaim the concept of sensuality? I'm just moving over here. I have a lot of tight muscles right here, and I have a feeling you might too. So just making little intentional circles, just moving over. So now I want to sort of break from the flow and introduce a technique to you that I call press and melt. So come back to your chest and pick an area that you feel like either you've been doing some exercises on or just tense. It could even be anywhere around here. I'm going to pick right here. And I want you just to press into the muscles as if you were checking for like a steak doneness. Let's go for like a medium rare. Pressing in. And then with our energy, let's just melt. It's not necessarily that you have more pressure. It's you're bringing all of your attention and your awareness inside of this muscle. You're just pressing and melting. Just imagining that the tension, the stress is just being relaxed and released and dissolved and dissipated, turned into just a pliable, maybe even imagining that it just turns into beautiful, pliable, like you can even imagine like some silk. Just imagine the fibers of your fascia and your muscles. Oh, just relaxing and releasing and dissolving and dissipating all the stuck tension, all the inflammation, any cellular memories, beliefs, judgments, rejections, projections, limitations, separations, conclusions, computations, anything else I didn't mention, just allowing the press and the melt to relax and release it back into your system where it will be recycled, reused, renewed, regenerated. Okay, now let's just start moving here. Let's actually just go right here into our thymus. Absolute power center. Let's just start tapping here. Feeling your energy really starting to course down. And then coming back up to this notch. And let's just get to know this notch a little bit. Here in the sternum. See if you can actually bring your attention and your awareness as if it was a second sight. Your eyes closed. Imagining that you have eyeballs on your fingertips and you can see beneath the skin with your eyes on your fingers. We're just playing here, okay? It doesn't have to make sense. Remember, we're not in our mind right now. We're dropped into a beautiful vortex of light. We're dropped into our super conscious heart space. So using our fingertip eyes, just imagine you can see below the skin and kind of almost come underneath, peering down, maybe even seeing a little glimpse of your heart beating. All of the super highways of light, your fiber optics of your fascia, all of that crystalline supercomputer, fourth phase of water, all of that structured, easy water that lines your cells, the blood, the lymph, and seeing if you can really just experience it as a giant network of rivers and highways of hydration and light. Tuning into all of that. All right, now let's move up our neck. I'm actually just taking this platysma muscle here that gets quite tense, but I have really been playing with it, so it is relaxed and released quite a bit. But let's just move up. And I'm actually not pressing and melting anymore. I'm actually pinching in. And let's come right underneath our ear and we'll be back up to the head. So everything we're doing right now with the breathing and the massaging, especially right here, we're toning our vagal nerve. We are really increasing our nervous system's ability to regulate. Coming right underneath the ears, feeling back there, those lymphatic nodes, maybe just pressing, feeling a little saliva starting to populate, pressing and sweeping. Pressing, pumping, pressing, circling, and sweeping, whatever feels good. Oh, pressing and pumping and sweeping. Oh, let's just go ahead and sweep a little. Always we want to be moving our lymphatic, as if we were sweeping the floor. We want to move all of the waste products that we're gathering underneath the armpit so it can be recirculated into the heart. Let me just do your neck a little bit. Now let's start releasing our jaw. And I will mention this as often as possible because it's just so amazing. But dentists have known for over 30 years that lengthening the jaw, increasing the space between the teeth at rest, they call the freeway space, lifts the entire face. So aging, as we know it, is really about shortening and tension. So if we want to regenerate, we want to elongate, we want to do eccentric exercises. So let's do some eccentrics. Pick a point that feels good, and let's just lengthen, press, melt, and lengthen. Pulling apart the muscle fibers in this way and stretching them out increases your body's own production of natural growth factors. Go to the other side, and we're just keeping it very gentle. This doesn't have to be a profound, this can be so subtle and so delicate and so gentle. Feeling that, like, from here to here, like that tension, just getting a spot and then stretching. And as you do that, just imagine that you're dissolving and dissipating, relaxing and releasing, and returning all of this tension back to its original program of health and vitality and radiance. I'm going to hold my hand right here, and then with one hand on the back, I'm really just lifting up and stretching. Now, come back over here, and let's stretch again. This way, reversing. We always want to reverse, so back to that infinity symbol. We want to do both sides, forwards and backwards. If you want a nice long neck that's bringing in lots of new information, it's bringing in lots of new circulation and new energy, we really want to stretch this forwards and back. So let's go back up to the head, and I'm just using the heel of my hand, doing a little bit more hair pulling. And coming in underneath the ears again. And finding my way back over underneath the armpits. All right, so let's just flick that off, relax and release that. Do a little frictioning, activating those fingers. Remember that everything that you see in the entire world was built with somebody's eyes and fingers. So let's get these two little fingers up, and let's just start zigzagging up. I felt lots of little popping in my right in here. Opening that up. Actually, I'm gonna do a nice infinity symbol there. Just to finish that little move. And let's take our fingers again. Maybe just one finger right in the center. So instead of exercising concentrically and holding things like a face yoga would, this is like an eccentric, lifting and stretching, pressing and melting, gazing and tapping and sweeping. Nasolabial folds right here, side by side. Fingers. Oh, okay, this is really interesting. Holding your eye, like lifting up like this. Let's just actually move our eyelids off of our eyeballs. And then now here's another great technique for us. And the full length masterclass is available in the Bright Rights. But for now, let's just use our eyes, open them up as wide as possible. And release. Open. And release. Getting all that flushing, all that blood flow. Now let's go to diagonal, top to bottom. Other side. That can stir up emotions, that can stir up a lot of energy. So just blink it out and relax. We're going to do one last thing before we close out the eyes, just side to side. And then blink, 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 blink. Oh, so how does everybody feel? I will happily go into the comments and see if there's anything that I can answer, and if you have any questions. But I think that's going to be it for today's portion of the Skintuitive massage part. We moved a lot of energy, so you want to make sure to drink a lot of water. My methodologies might seem very simple, but they are very profound because they have an energetic signature and frequency attached to them that's coming from me. So that's why it's so important that you're really intentionally here, that you've given me my permission to essentially work with you with your hands wherever you are watching this in the world. And before I check for questions, I did want to remind you that every time we have the Skintuitive Happy Hour, there's also a 2-hour sale happening at higherselfbeauty.com that will run from 3 to 5 every Wednesday. It's an automatic 20% off everything in the store. No codes needed. So that's just a little extra incentive to get some high quality, high performance, concentrated skin nutrition in your hands and on your face, because I promise you that you will see the quickest results when you're using a product that can actually penetrate, that can actually feed. Timelight Skin Nutrition features the 18-hour delivery system. It's got lipid-wrapped molecules that are feeding your skin the nutrients it needs for 18 hours. That means the moisturizer you put on at nighttime is still working the next day, even if you've washed your face. So it's pretty amazing. And if you need help picking out any products, don't hesitate to ask me. Just DM on any of the various the nutrients it needs for 18 hours. The various areas. And yeah, so it doesn't look like I have any questions. I hope that you have enjoyed this Skintuitive session. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. And I hope you have a beautiful and conscious, radiant day. Bye-bye.